murdered him if he did this. And, you know, I think we're going to find other people involved. They will find him. He's going to be caught. He can run, but he can't hide, and it's only a matter of time.
Now, so Robin Finker, you used to represent this man in connection with other charges, and when you heard that he, you know, saw his picture on the news and saw this being said about him, you thought what?
I've known him to be a very nice, kind, gentle person, the victim of injustice in the past. I represented him in 6 cases. In none of the 6 was he found guilty of anything.
Well, that's a testament to your legal skills, not to his character.
No prosecutor in this country is going to drop a concealed machete charge and let someone plead to an open container. Obviously, there's some phoniness about those charges. He was not found guilty.
Well, there's not
been
a phoniness
rush to judgment.
Well, there's a lot of charges he was found guilty of. I mean, he was convicted of assaulting his girlfriend in Maryland in 2009. He pleaded guilty the next year to malicious destruction of property after he threatened to kill a woman and her infant daughter, breaking into her apartment and stealing a TV. The officer said in that case that he said, "I'm going to come over there and kill you, your daughter, and your friends." He advised that he was good with a knife and could kill them easily. In 2010, he was arrested outside of this company while carrying the machete, and on it goes. So he doesn't really sound like that good of a person.
You're reading some of the charges that are easy to make.
Convicted of assaulting a girlfriend, pleaded guilty to malicious destruction.
And what was the penalty for assaulting this girlfriend where there were no injuries whatsoever? Oftentimes they use these charges as a custody fight. And that's what happened.
Nobody's ever charged
case.
me with punching anybody or convicting anybody or threatening to kill somebody and their infant daughter. You know why? Because I don't do those things. It's amazing how your former client just continues to fall within the hairs of law enforcement.
I've represented hundreds of young men at a prominent university nearby who get into tussles, and that's it. There were no serious injuries. This is a group grope.
What was his DNA doing on the pizza that was found inside this house?
And how do you know that that pizza was found inside the house? No one has said that. The pizza was delivered outside.
Domino's said they delivered the pizza. Let me turn to you with that, Mr. Commissioner. They said they delivered the pizza to the house, and then they tested it for DNA, and his popped up.
They delivered 2 pizzas to the house. His DNA was there. They also have some video footage that they say is him running from the area. And listen, the bottom line is they made him the principal suspect. There's other evidence. I promise you there's other evidence. They have. They're not going to put this out, an all points bulletin all across this country looking for this for a mass murder, a barbaric murder at that, if they didn't think it was him.
Robert,
it's a barbaric murder, but that is not him in the footage.
How do you know?
That is shown. That is not him.
How do you know?
I know what he looks like. There's no facial features in that photograph.
Have you spoken with him?
Have
you spoken with him?
I'm not going to comment on whether or not I've spoken with him. I think that's irrelevant. What's important here is that there's a presumption of evidence, and your other guest seems to think there's a presumption of guilt. Not in the United States there isn't.
Right now. It's not a presumption of innocence if he gets charged, but in the meantime, the manhunt is underway, and nobody else needs to get hurt.
And they're claiming
but the reason I ask you whether
falsely
you've spoken with him is because would you urge him to turn himself in, as reportedly his family has already done publicly?
I would urge him to have a nice long talk with an attorney about where he was that day, his alibis, and about his future. There's talk that he's armed and dangerous. There's no talk of any gun in this case. Why are they saying he's armed and dangerous? He is a nice person. He was patriotic. He tried to join the Marines.
Right, but
he doesn't fit the stereotype. He doesn't fit the profile.
A nice person. In 2005, his own father sought to ban him from the family home and from the elementary school and daycare that his then 8-year-old sister attended. The father said he had threatened to shoot the father and the stepmother. He doesn't sound all that nice.
There are no attempted murder charges in that case or any shooting charges.
You're
had an argument with his
You're
dad.
undermining your own credibility by making those outrageous statements, sir. I appreciate your role as a defense attorney. It's an important role in this country, but you must hear how ridiculous that sounds.
Because someone has an argument with his dad, you're saying he's guilty of 4 homicides? Don't think so.
He's had a lot of arguments. It's more the DNA and the pizza that suggests, and the videotape of him running away, Mr. Commissioner. I'll give you the last word.
But it's also other evidence that they have. They're not going to target this guy as a suspect if they just had a piece of pizza crust. They're not going to do that. They know a lot more stuff than we know. We don't know. They do know. Lanier knows, the commissioner down there and the police commissioner up here. I promise you, they wouldn't be looking for this guy all over the country if they didn't think it was him.
Well, New York is under a lot of tension tonight, thinking that this man has committed possibly this crime and is at large in this town. Thank you both very much for being here with your insights.
Thank you.
Also tonight, with the terrorists racking up a big new victory.